Hey everyone, this is Lucario Superfan1 saying this is part 2 of what if Izuku had the Omnitrix. Also, you better beware because Bakugo is going to get all kinds of whooping because I don't like Bakugo. He's kind of a jerk. And if I was a teacher, I would give him what to him. So, now let's get on to the story. We start. After the day that Izuku had found the watch and said, "Wow, this watch is super cool. I wonder if there's any other aliens I could turn into." Then Izuku said, "But I better get to sleep." And then Izuku went to sleep. And luckily, the dog was a good sleeper. Because at the next day, at Izuku's school, his teacher said, "Young people, I know you all are wondering what we're going to do today. But luckily, I'm going to tell you because I'm a teacher." And the teacher had some kind of weird mole quirk. Also, the teacher said in a bold tone, "I am here." Oh wait, he wasn't a bold. I remember he was some kind of sloth. So he said in a slow tone, "I am going to tell you that today I'm and the school are going to throw a science fair. And that everyone could join in." And hearing that from their sloth teacher that that their school was throwing a science fair together and that anyone could join in, Izuku thought of an idea for a great project. Then Bakugo said to the teacher, Teach, hurry up! And besides, none of these extras could probably uh, do what could do for my science project. Then the teacher, with a mad tone, said, Bak is Bakugo, please sit down. I wasn't finished. Like I said, everyone, anyone who wants to join the science fair can do so. All you need is a prod. And before he could even finish, the class bell rang, and everyone was saying, finally! And then in Izuku's mind, he said, seriously, how can the teachers hire someone with a sloth quirk? Like, he's so slow. By the time he's finished talking, it's already time to go home. Then Izuku thought to himself, maybe I should use my brain to show that I'm not just useless, just like Bakugo says, like Kakchan says I am. I know what to do. I'll make something that could probably either translate his thoughts for he speak faster, or I could make some kind of weird animal like translator. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a helmet that translates thoughts from either animal or human translator. Well, here goes nothing, Izuku. Time to go do it. But then, on accident, a kid with a freeze in the air quirk accidentally bumped into Izuku and made him freeze in the air, like one of those moments where people just defy gravity and just stay up in the air. Then the kid said, oops, sorry, but I gotta go. And seeing that the kid wouldn't come back, he said, wait, aren't you gonna come back? I don't want to stand up here forever. Help? Aw, man. This is the worst time. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Worst time to get an itch. As he felt an itch coming, he said, aw, man. Bad timing, indeed. But I wonder if Miss Boo Puppy will help me in my experiment. And after the teacher found the kid to help Izuku down, Izuku made his way home. But a unknown person, our unfavorite explosion wielder quirk named Bakugo said, listen, Deku, I don't want you to enter the science fair because I don't want no worthless deku in my way. But then, on accident, feeling like its host was in danger, Izuku accidentally turned into a green tiger-like cat. And not knowing what he was, Deku said in his new alien voice, "Listen, Bakugo! Let me tell you something! Raph will kick your ass!" And feeling the much anger in his voice and in his new body, Izuku kicked Bakugo across the school. And then he said, and knowing what he did, he said, let me tell you something, Omnitrix. Why did you turn me into this thing? I'm gonna show you my wrath. You know what? Wait a minute. After thinking, he decided to call his new alien Wrath. You know what, Omnitrix? Thanks to this little disturbance, I will call this new form Wrath. Yeah. And after angrily walking back to his home, he said in his room and said, "Alien Puppy, I want to tell you something. Raph wants you to help me with his science project." And then, seeing that Izuku had a new form, Mr. Blue Dog said, "Ruff, ruff." And then, seeing that the blue dog said, "That's a new form in dog language," Izuku said in his wrath form, "Let me tell you something, Blue Doggy. This is a new alien. And let me tell you something. Raph is really mad in this form." And then, hearing all the yelling, Izuku's mom, Mrs. Adoria, said, "Honey, are you alright?" Then he says, then in his anger form, Izuku said, "I'm okay, Mom. Just this new form is very angry. Yeah." Then hearing that it was just the form of his new alien, Ezekiel's mom said, "Okay, honey, have fun." What? Then Izuku said in his anger form, "Whatever." Then, after a few minutes, the Omnitrix did its usual time out. And after timing out, Izuku said to himself and Mr. Blue Dog, "Wow, this is much what Cockchan feels like, being angry all the time." "Row, row," said the Mr. Blue Dog. "I know, Mr. Blue Dog. It is terrifying knowing that I have an alien that is way angrier than Cockchan. Now, Mr. Blue Dog, there's one thing we gotta do." And if you guys don't know what that meant, it means, what is that? And what is that, Izuku? And then, Izuku said in a prank, "It's simple, Mr. Blue Dog. It's what we're going to do every night." Then Mr. Blue Dog said, "And what is that, Izuku?" tried to take over the world. Whoa, And then the blue dog said, seriously? That old joke? You watch Pinky and the Brain too much. And then Izuku said, I know. It's just too funny. How they and how the end credits say, it's Pinky and the Brain, 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 brain. That show is just too funny. Even though it was made before the Quark era. Then, after a couple of hours, Izuku was making his project, and then Izuku said to Miss Blue Puppy, Mr. Blue Puppy, Dog, okay, Mr. Blue Dog, if I have my calculations right, this helmet will translate your thoughts into words. Now, my assistant, Mommy, pull the switch! Whoa! Izuku said in an evil laugh. Then Mr. Blue Dog said, in that translated to, do you really have to do the evil laugh? He said, and Izuku said, what? It's more dramatic. And then Izuku realized, oh, wait, I don't have an assistant. Oh well. Then Izuku pulled the switch, unknowing that a accidental spark made the Omnitrix go haywire and destroy Izuku's project. But unknowing to Izuku had just made a breakthrough because when he was feeling the shocks from his recent experiment, Izuku heard another voice that sounded like it was female. My head. Did anyone get the license plate of that hero that smashed us? And then Izuku said, wait, who said that? Izuku. Then we heard the female voice said, Izuku, it's me, Blue Dog. And hearing the voice coming from his blue dog, Blue Dog said, wait a minute, can you understand me? And just like an underdog, this scene happened. And after freaking out, Izuku said, my project, it must have gave you the power to speak. Then she said, cool. Now I can tell you all kinds of things. Like, but first, stop with the dog food. Give me some real meat, like steak or bunny. Oh, this is so weird. This is so weird. Like, totally weird. And then Miss Blue Dog said, you think it's weird. How do you think I feel? I can talk now. Also, I checked your profile. You have a weird obsession with heroes. Then Izuku said, hey, I'm a teenage boy. And besides, everyone on the planet is mostly obsessed with heroes. Then Miss Blue Dog said, really? And then Izuku said, yeah. And then Izuku said, I better not. Oh, Miss Blue Dog? I thought you were a guy. Excuse me? Miss Blue Dog said. What makes you think I was a guy? You're bigger. You were big. So I thought you were a guy? And then Miss Blue Dog said, Child, I am not a male. So treat me as a lady and change my name, darling, to Mrs. Blue Dog. Ow! And also change my meal to real steak like you guys. And also, my claws are getting very, very bad. I want you to sharpen them, at least. Then Izuku said in his mind, Dad was right. When women start talking, they never stop. But then, the next day happened and Izuku was at the science fair saying that he had taught his dog how to speak. And not believing that Izuku could do anything, Bakugo said, Yeah, right, Deku. You cannot, that mutt of yours probably can't be taught anything. And thinking that Bakugo thought she was dumb, she said out loud, Oh, hell no, fool! You did not just call me dumb! I should smack you upside the head! What's wrong with you, fool? And having enough, Miss Blue Dog chased after Bakugo and then, not wanting Izuku's weird dog to bite him, Bakugo ran like the hell. And while he was running, Miss Blue Dog chased after him and said, And also, I'm going to smack you upside the head because of what you've been doing to Izuku. You better get back here, fool, because I will smack the living hell out of sense into you, boy. You better hope I don't find you, because these claws will smack the hell out of you. Then, seeing that the dog was serious, Bakugo said, Yo, Deku, call your mud off. And not wanting to get into trouble, Izuku said, Miss Blue Dog, Blue Dog, Mrs. Blue Dog, please let Bakugo go. Oh, and hearing that Izuku wanted her to let Bakugo not get hurt, she said to Izuku, Fine, I'll let the little spice pepper go. But if he ever hurts you again, I will smack him. And hearing that the dog did talk, Izuku did win first prize. But seeing that one of his classmates was sad about her volcano losing to a dog, Izuku decided to give the first prize blue ribbon to her. And he said, Here you go. You can take it. Like, I don't think I need it anyway. And seeing that Izuku was giving the first prize to her, Izuku said, Don't worry. I could probably win another one. Then, seeing that her owner gave his blue prize to the little girl in his class, she said, You know, Izuku, you're one good kid. If you were my pup, I would give you a bone. Now, let's go home and get some of your mom's prize chili. She said if you won, she would make that good chili that mean you love so much. Now let's go get some chili. Then, Zuku's teacher said, in his sloth way, excuse me, Zuku, Doria. I want to say thanks for helping the new transfer student from Zoo Korea. Yes. And then hearing where she's from, Izuku said, wait, she's from that quirk place called Quirkia, where people with animal quirks could live there in peace? And then hearing the question, his sloth teacher said, yes, Izuku. She's my cousin's friend's daughter. Also, if you don't mind, there's a new one coming from there. His name would be Nicholas Wild. If you don't mind, can you also be nice to him? He has a fox quirk. And hearing the request from his teacher, Izuku said, sure, I will be his friend. Besides, with Bakugo, I don't think he'll be anyone's friend. And seeing that Izuku had a point, and that he would become Nick Wild's new friend, he said to Izuku in his slothy way, thank you, Izuku, for doing this. I really appreciate this. And then Izuku said, sir, do you ever think about getting a different job? Sometimes, his teacher said after hearing his question. But I got to tell you that the hot sloth librarian makes it worth it. So, and after hearing what he said, Izuku said to the teacher, what do you mean she makes it worth it? And hearing the innocence from Izuku, his sloth teacher said, yo, find out when you're older. And then Izuku said, grown-ups are very confusing. And hearing that, Miss Blue Dog said, Izuku, you are so clueless. And hearing that insult from his dog, he said, what? What did I do? What did I say? Also, after a few days, a quirk boy with a fox quirk named Nicholas J. Wild, who was a scout ranger, said, excuse me, I'm looking for a student called Izuku Midoriya. And hearing his name, Izuku said, hello, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Also, you want to meet my other friend, Judy Hops? And then, being the spiritual kid that he was, Nick said, be honored to. Also, is she a bunny? Because I kinda had issues with prey. Then Izuku said, don't worry, she's a bunny. And even if she's a bunny, she won't hurt you. Besides, who knows? Maybe if we all grow up together, maybe we all could be heroes. And then Nick said, you know, I also have another quirk. And hearing that his new friend had another quirk, Izuku said to Nick, really, Nick? What is it? And then Nick touched the ground and absorbed the stone, turning his whole body into stone. And also, everyone, yes, Nick will be the Kevin 11 version of this story. And you all know who's probably going to be the Gwen of the story. Then Izuku said, cool, after seeing Nick's quirk. Then Nick said to Izuku, yeah, you see, Izuku, it's called absorption. I can absorb anything, like stone, metal, ground, even other powers. Then, hearing that Nick could absorb anything, Izuku said, that is cool, man. Is there any weakness? Then Nick said, yeah, I kinda get savage when I absorb energy. Like, too much of it. Then, hearing that his new friend would go savage by absorbing that too much energy, that Izuku said, well, you better not absorb Judy's because she could throw energy out of her hands. And then, after making a new friend, Zuku's side, a couple of years passed by, and Nick, Judy, and Izuku had become best of friends. And them becoming good friends, Nick and Judy stood up to Bakugo when he would always pick on Izuku. And Nick would always say, "Wow, you're a great ball of sunshine, aren't you, Bakugo?" And he would, his insults, his quirks would always say, would make him so mad that he would say, "Shut up, foxhead!" And hearing that, Nick knew that he had just got onto Bakugo's nerves. Knowing that he was getting on Bakugo's nerves, Nick did his quips, still to bug Bakugo. Then, to even piss Bakugo even more off, Judy showed that he was not the biggest cheese in town. That way made him way a lot more madder. Then Izuku said, "Guys, I want to show you something." And wanting to know that and knowing that their friend wanted to show him something, Nick said, "Sure, what is it, man?" And then Izuku said, "I can't show you here. Let's go to the beach." And then Nick said, "You mean that one that's all trashed up?" "Yeah, it's so trashed up that we can have totally private time." And after a few minutes, Izuku, Nick, and Judy arrived at Takawa Beach. And then, after arriving at the beach, Nick said, "Okay, okay, Nick, okay, Izuku, what do you want to show us?" And not showing and wanting to show his friends the watch, Izuku said, "Watch this." Then Izuku turned into a wolf-like creature and said, "So guys, how do I look?" Then Nick said, "Dude, you look awesome." "I gotta agree with Nick," said Judy. "You look totally fine." Then hearing that his friends thought he was totally cool, Izuku said, "I'm thinking about going to the hero course, like you guys." And then Izuku's friend said, "You know what? I think you have a shot at the hero course." So, on three, we say, "It's hero time." Not knowing that those three would become great heroes. And on their way back, Izuku and his friends saw a Mr. Smoothie's restaurant saying new smoothie flavors. And not liking the sound of smoothies, Izuku said, "Ugh, who would want that?" Then Yuri said to Izuku, "I wouldn't mind having a carrot smoothie." Then Nick said, "I think blueberry would be a good taste." Then Nick said, "You think we should try the chili fries?" "Yeah, let's try the chili fries," said Izuku. "For some reason, I have a good craving for them." And we take 25 years from now, where a grown Nick a Judy and a Zuko were eating their chili fries. I can't. Then Nick said, "I can't believe it that we started eating these since we were kids." Then Judy said, "I know." I can't believe it that we're going to be in school soon, especially in the hero course. Remember when you were a kid, you used to hate their smoothies? Yep. Yeah, I did, but when I tasted their smoothies, I was hooked. You think Bakugo will get in? Said Judy. You know, worry. And Nick said, "Don't worry, babe. Don't worry, Toot Toots, Officer Hero Toot Toots. That I bet you my car that if if Bakugo gets into hero course, it won't be because he's a hero. Probably because of his fret saying, 'Let me in or die!'" See? That's what probably Bakugo would say. Then hearing how Nick imitated Bakugo, he said, "You're right. That is what Cock-chan would say. You know, ever since you guys came into my life, I feel like Cock-chan cannot bother me." Then Nick said, "Well, Izuku, that's because he can't. Because we're the free amigos. We're free amigos. There's a free amigos." Then Judy said, "Don't you mean free amigos?" Yeah, that's what I meant." "No, huzzah! You got my thing right." Then Judy said, "Huzzah!" Then Judy said to Izuku, "He's been watching those old night videos. It's a geeky way that says cool." Then, hearing Judy's explaining that Nick has been watching old night movies, Izuku said, "Then, huzzah!" But unknown, Izuku accidentally lost control of his cup and said, "Uh-oh, please don't let it hit something." But unfortunately, to Izuku's luck, Mr. Bauman's car was right behind them, and when Izuku accidentally threw his cup, the cup accidentally hit Mr. Bauman's car. Then Izuku said, "Oh man, not Mr. Bauman's car." And not wanting them to get into trouble, Nick said, "Well, time for the 80s. Just like Michael Jackson says, let's beat it." And not wanting to get out and get into trouble, Izuku, Nick, and Judy ran out of the Mr. Smoothie restaurant like a meat eater, like a meat like a veggie at eater at a convention meats. And then 5 minutes later, Mr. Bauman came back from getting his groceries until he saw his car all covered up in smoothie juice. And knowing who did that, he said, "Izuku Midoriya!" And that, people, is where we leave it. Until 9 plus Ultra. Also, here's a scene of the underdog thing, like I said earlier. Bye.
Come here, boy. Did you hear something?
No, did you?
Did you just talk?
Huh? What? Whoa, wait a minute. You can understand me?